What if the biggest moment of your life didn't look like a big moment at all? What if it was just a normal night, a normal choice, a normal decision that nobody noticed? Because sometimes the person who changes your future isn't someone famous. It's the person staring back at you in the mirror. Meet Alex. Alex was 19 years old, living in a small apartment in the United States, carrying a dream that felt bigger than his reality. Every morning, Alex watched successful people online, people building businesses, people traveling the world, people achieving things he could only imagine. And every night, he asked himself the same question: why not me? But reality was louder than his dreams. Bills were piling up, confidence was disappearing, and every failure felt like proof that maybe he wasn't meant for something greater. You know that feeling? When you're trying your best, but your best doesn't seem to be enough? Yeah, that uncomfortable place where your dreams are alive, but your doubts are even louder. And honestly, why does failure always arrive with perfect timing? Like seriously, failure doesn't even knock. It just walks in, sits down, and says, "Hey, I live here now." Alex started comparing his journey with everyone else, and that was his biggest mistake, because comparison has a dangerous habit. It makes someone else's highlight reel look like your failure story. He saw people winning, but he never saw their late nights, their sacrifices, their moments of fear. One day, after another rejection, Alex sat alone in his room. His laptop was open, his unfinished projects were everywhere, and for the first time, he thought about giving up. Not because he didn't care, but because caring so much was exhausting. And this is where most people stop. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack potential, but because they quit during the chapter where the story was about to change. But Alex didn't know something important, something that would completely change his perspective, because the next morning, something happened, something small, something almost nobody would notice. But it changed everything. Alex found an old notebook from years ago. Inside were pages filled with goals he had written when he was younger. Become better, learn every day, build something meaningful. And at the bottom of the page was one sentence: I don't need to become successful overnight. I just need to become 1% better every day. That sentence hit differently, because Alex realized something. He wasn't losing because he was incapable. He was losing because he expected a lifetime of success in a few months. That day, Alex stopped chasing instant results. Instead, he focused on small wins. 1 page of learning, 1 hour of improvement, 1 difficult task completed. Every single day. Nothing dramatic happened at first. No sudden success, no overnight transformation, just tiny actions repeated consistently. And that's the part nobody talks about. Growth is usually invisible before it becomes obvious. A tree doesn't grow in front of your eyes, but every day underground, the roots are getting stronger. And eventually, everyone sees the tree. Years later, Alex looked back at that difficult chapter of his life, and he realized something powerful. The hardest days didn't destroy him. They built him. The rejection taught him patience. The failures taught him resilience. The struggle taught him who he truly was. Because success isn't created in one giant moment. It's created through thousands of small moments when you choose not to quit. So if you're watching this today and you feel behind, remember Alex. Remember that your current situation is not your final destination. The chapter you're struggling through might be the chapter that creates your greatest story.